Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a video in Ellie's bedroom. We did recently redo her room, so it is the cutest, and Nate and Isla are asleep upstairs. So as you can see by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about something we've never done on this channel before, but trying to conceive. Up until this point, I've been trying not to conceive, but I have two amazing children regardless, Ellie and Isla. If you don't know, Ellie is 9.5 years old. She was born in Japan, and Isla is almost 1.5, and she was born here in the US. Before the COVID-19 happened, Isla was born roughly a year before, so she was born in March of 2019. We wanted to have another kid, so our third child, or my third biological child, and Nate's second biological child. Roughly like 2.5 years apart from Isla, like born 2.5 years, which means that I would have to get pregnant between now and the next 3 months. So our plan was that we wanted to try to conceive starting August of 2020, which is next month. Obviously, with the situation with COVID-19, that has brought a lot of discussion and whether or not that's still something that we wanted to do. So just putting this out there, our personal stance on the situation going on, and I'm not going to get into politics, but we completely support the lockdown, the quarantine, the wearing masks, the social distancing. Like, I'm completely on board with everything that science is saying. I would honestly be more comfortable if school wasn't starting in the fall. Like, I'm all about getting the situation under control before moving forward. Having said that, this has greatly impacted like my career, and honestly, like, despite the impact on the economy, like, I still have my job full time. I'm still working. I haven't been out of work, and honestly, for the impact that it's had on the time that I've been allowed to spend with my family, it's benefited us greatly. So I have been working from home. I worked from home from March until June, end of June, and started working back at the office towards the end of June 50% of the time. So 3 days a week 1 week, and then 2 days a week another week, and then working from home on the days that other people were in the office, so that we were decreasing our exposure. And this obviously has allowed me, A, an extra hour to sleep in the morning, and B, the ability to breastfeed Isla as much as I want. And I can't help but think of the benefits of the COVID-19, and of course, socially there isn't any. I mean, it's really an awful thing that's impacted, especially the elderly and everybody, the economy. But in the way of my family, this is an opportunity for me to get pregnant and be able to sleep in an extra hour in the morning when I don't get like super sick, like I don't get morning sickness, but like for me the first like 2-3 months I'm like if you've ever had mono, that's basically how I feel, like just so tired, just like totally worn down, like can't keep my eyes open. When I got pregnant with Isla, I was still working full time, obviously the whole pregnancy, and there was times where I fell asleep in a teleconference. I almost fell asleep in a meeting. I had to carry like green tea because you're not really supposed to drink like coffee or anything really caffeine, like strong, high in caffeine. At least the first trimester I didn't. So like I would carry a water bottle full of like green tea around for when I had meetings, because it's such a struggle staying awake even though I was getting 8 hours of sleep. So for me it's like, okay, I might actually be able to sleep in a little bit more. And after I have the baby, because I've been working from home, this might be like an option to not take such a long maternity leave and work from home, because now I think that the company is, again, it's a Japanese company, and they're very much like, we want you to work in the office and we want you to travel once a week to visit customers. Now that could be like someone close by, but that's also like, I work a lot with people down south, so that means like I was taking business trips like once a month down south, or out of the state, which is really hard when you're breastfeeding. And I always made it a point to management that if I'm traveling out of state, I will do a day trip. So, sorry that the lighting is really bad right now. It's thunderstorming outside, but anyway, so I have management that's been pretty flexible in understanding that, but that's still really hard, like a day trip where I leave at like 5 in the morning and come back at like 10 p.m. at night and like have to pump and gas station bathrooms and all that business. Like power just went out. That part of the house went out. Look at it outside, guys. It's freaking nuts. Anyway, going back to where I was, for us, like, the silver lining in all this is that it's allowed me to A, not travel when I have breastfeeding babies, and B, it's allowed me to spend more time at home and be more hands-on in raising them, and C, financially, I haven't been impacted negatively yet. I mean, there is always that uncertainty that if, the economic situation continues on as it has, yeah, I mean, I could be out of a job. Do I see that happening? I don't think I will lose my job, but there is a potential. I suppose I've been there for 5 years and I'm a senior sales representative, so if they were going to start cutting people, I wouldn't be the first one to be cut. All the sales representatives are under me at this point. I have 3 working under me, so I am optimistic that I have a job secure, and I'm living pretty close to family, so that's another thing I wanted to talk about. It's not a very light conversation, but my father was recently diagnosed with cancer, and it is a really rare form of cancer that he may only have like 3 years left to live, and depending on whether or not he gets like a bone marrow transplant and all that stuff, he could potentially be cured or go into remission, but right now, like, the outlook is not great. So that's another thing that, like, I was considering in all of this. Like, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't a possible bone marrow donor before trying to get pregnant, but after he consulted, like, with the doctors and everything, the chance that I am a match is very, very low. Like, it's not even really worth it to even test at this point. So that's unfortunate. I, of course, would have liked to help him, but if I'm not, then I want to have my children meet their grandfather before he potentially passes away. And let's hope that doesn't happen, but anyway, going back to the lighter side of all this, we have decided that everything in consideration, we still want to move forward with our plan to try to conceive next month. So this is going to probably, our plan right now is to have this be our last child. Listen to that, it's crazy. One of the other things that I thought about is I had Ellie when I was 20. I got pregnant when I was 20 and I had her when I was 21. So I have already been raising a child for 9.5 years and Isla for 1.5 years. So it takes 18 years for them to essentially leave the nest. So if I spread all my kids out like 8 years like I did with Ellie, which I could do like feasibly with my age, I would be raising kids for like a long ass time, and I would rather just have 2 close in age. And I really like how Ellie is, like, the age gap between her and Isla, and like she interacts so well, and she really wants to have another little brother or sister. So for us, like, this is the best age gap for our family. So we want to just have 1 more and then be done. And I'm sure we'll have 3 girls. I already know, because I just do. We're gonna have 3 girls. We're gonna have Isla and the new baby close in age, and have Ellie be an awesome big sister, and just hopefully make the best of the situation with COVID-19, and hope that, everything, I have hope, and I'm not super religious, but I have faith that the world will find a way around this eventually. It might take 2, 3, maybe even 5 years, but I do have faith that things will resume back to the way that they were, and maybe not completely. We'll have to have precautions in place probably forever, but at least get this you know, phase out of their life when they're still young. They probably won't even remember it. Like, I'm okay not going to the zoo, going to the movie theaters when they're babies anyway. Like, I'm pretty much a homebody, so it's really not a huge deal. Like, we still spend a lot of time outside. We can still go on walks. We can still play outside. And, like, I understand, like, if this was my first baby, I would probably be really devastated that I couldn't have a baby shower and I couldn't have my husband come to all the ultrasounds. But, like, this is my third baby. Like, I don't really need to have a baby shower. Like, I don't really want, like, Nate doesn't have to come with me to the ultrasounds. Like, I can just, like, film it. Like, I mean, you don't really know what the baby looks like until it comes out anyway. So as long as everything's healthy, like, I'm fine having the baby at home. He doesn't really want me to, though, but, like, for me, it's not a big deal. Like, all that stuff is not, like, a huge deal. Like, obviously, the safety of my children is, and that's at stake with the COVID-19, but I feel like, I mean, at least another silver lining in all this is kids can get it, but they're less likely to have, like, they're less likely to die from it. And as long as, you know, we're taking precautions, and we are, to not expose other people. If we go to the doctor's office, we'll wait, you know, a week to 10 days to make sure that we're not exposed, that, you know, maybe it is a good time for us because, like I said, I will be able to be more involved in my children's lives. So I want to take you guys on this journey. It's really exciting for me because, you know, I was really young when I got pregnant with Ellie. And with Isla, like, Nate and I were talking about engagement and things like that, but we weren't necessarily trying to conceive. So this is going to be the first time that I've ever, like, gotten to track my cycles, which I already am, and, like, plan for pregnancy and be like, let the families know, like, we're going to be trying. So everyone was still excited with my other pregnancies, and I was still excited, but this is just going to be a new experience that I'm looking forward to, and it'll be fun to take you guys along on the journey, and it'll be fun to look back on and record this part of my life. So I hope that you guys enjoy this, and maybe I'll get a little bit of a different dynamic. I know most of my subscribers watched me because I lived in Japan, but maybe I'll gain some new subscribers for other moms that are also going to be conceiving in this weird and uncertain time. And I hope you guys enjoy. Bye.